is the stacking
They
order.
got their team structure though, like I look at their website.
And the ones that highlight are what's required for the LO to have, in some cases, at least attempt to have, before they hand off
It's
to
like
the,
they, it's like they deleted it. Started.
before they hand off to the LOA. And the main reason is because from here on out, in this, I mean, pretty much just from here on out, Gus and DU has to be ran. I mean, I would say for everything that's gonna have a 41 requirement, or if you don't know if it's gonna have a 41 requirement on a DTI for USDA, or unless the ratio is really, really, really low, like you got a FHA with 37 top number and bottom number, I mean, probably not, you shouldn't have to do it, but if it's just not uncommonly low, then you gotta run DU or Gus. And so the
If it's a
things.
no-brainer, no need, but if it's,
Yeah.
if you're pushing the mark, pushing the ratios, then
And the best way to cut out the no-brainers would be to not, somebody not understand what a no-brainer is, and then you mess it up for everybody. The documents that are required here would be, your eyebrows are raised, like what? Well, that's because those documents probably will help you do the DU, accurately. So starting with the 2-year residence, the 2-year residence, does it have to be on the 1003 when you hand off? Probably not, but it should be to run to you. Here he is. And let's see, bankruptcy schedules. I mean, I'm just starting at the top, going down. The bankruptcy schedules, that's part of pre-approval. Is it part of pre-qual? No, but it's part of pre-approval. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Discharge documents, bankruptcy discharge, child support order, child support payment history, that covers, receiving and paying. Trustee's deed, if there's a foreclosure, or if you think there may be a foreclosure. If it's a house that was sold in 2010 with a 0 balance and no late showing on it, you're probably clear. But if it's saying on something about, modification, short sale, foreclosures proceedings started, late payments you can see are very visible.
included in the bankruptcy, the
Yeah.
telltale sign.
Or including bankruptcy. Get the settlement of the HUD one.
I had quick question. I had a client with a foreclosure started, that was listed on there in 2015. But it was never, they caught up,
They
they
sold
basically
it or
paid.
whatever?
Yeah, they just paid whatever they owed. He lost his job, had some rough times. They didn't foreclose on the home, but it was started. How would you view that?
Just, was the house already gone? Was it already sold? Was it
No,
still
no, they still have possession of the
They're
house.
still living there?
Yeah.
They did a loan mod or
No,
something.
no loan.
Just say something showing that they're still in regular amortization.
Yeah, they're still on their regular payment.
There was never a loan modification, never a HARP refinance
No.
or something like that, then you should be fine.
Okay.
But you would need that, probably run a supplement showing that it never went into foreclosure.
So they started but they never finished, so that means they didn't go through? You
Yeah,
still have-
the foreclosure never finished.
But you
Yeah,
still have
they
to,
usually say proceedings began or started or whatever.
but you still have to prove that there's still on payments, I guess?
Absolutely.
I can get their most recent mortgage statement.
Yeah, all you need is documentation.
Oh, okay.
But then this is all things that that if say you got 2 loans and you got one that goes in first and one that goes in second, and pretend we only have one processor. If you put that one in first, and it took 3 days to get those documents that you could have got on the front, then potentially your second loan, which is crystal clear, could get delayed. You don't want that. When it's so easy just to go ahead and get it. And if it's legit, it's a legit deal, that people will have no problem getting it for you. They'll be happy that they even give it to you whether you ask for it.
On that particular file, definitely running DU would help, because it was an FHA.
Especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if there's a question, go ahead and you need to run DU because you're gonna see whether there's a K receipt. And that's big time kissing that. It can be beat though. You did it. We completed all trade lines and from the general form set, that's it should say borrow information. It does say that, but the general form set used to be just a list of the inspections, do's and don'ts, some things like that, but I incorporated some other things and made it a little bit bigger packet, but it's helpful. I wouldn't ask for it until you get the income docs, 'cause you may overwhelm, but you should get it, because, in the event the borrower's got 6 jobs in 2 years, do you want to sit there and put that jigsaw puzzle together? Probably not. You have them do it for you.
Yeah, I have another situation, the guy's a pipe layer, you know, in the industry, and shut up.
Say a word.
Anyway, so, he gets hired and fired.
It works for the union?
Yeah, no, and no union, that's the
Really?
thing. He gets hired and fired based on the work that he receives. But yeah, I mean, he's
You
starting.
talking about pipe layer?
Probably a welder.
He's like 15-year-olds, man. Golly.
Anyway, so he gets hired and fired, worked about 8 jobs in the past 2 years. And starts a new company who's given him a contract to do. How would they view that? No union.
Well, I mean.
But it's
if
a
you look
it's a
at the
norm in
guidelines,
the industry.
It
though.
says, it says typical for the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the underwriters will look at that, and there's even the 4000.1 and the 3555 both that say typical, considerations made for the industry.
Cause consistently over the past 3 years, he's made at least 80 grand, so, working the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look, no gaps.
Or, I mean, 1 or 2.
I mean,
Until they
no
find
major
out.
gaps.
But anyway, that 2-year history would come in handy. You put the burden on them, put this together, start with the most recent, and then line them up, send the W-2s in order, just make this quick. Sometimes they'll help and sometimes they won't, so you ask. And you'll never get it if you don't ask. Okay, pay stubs. You gotta ask not just once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, you gotta keep acting, you gotta keep them, these people look for a house for 6 weeks, 2 months, 2.5, 3 months, whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get a contract and you look down, you've got pay stubs from the very first time, and then you request new pay stubs and find out, oh, so the husband was off work for a month, off sick, or, workman's comp, disability, and they just blew the whole line. And if you would have been requesting pay stubs every time you did your bi-weekly call for pre-approvals, then you would have got that, nipped that in the bud much sooner. So continue asking for those stubs, bank statements, the things that you continue to need. Tax returns goes without saying. And you can add 15, 16, or 14, 15 in there.
Can I say something about that?
Huh, sure.
So right now, since we're in between tax periods, it's really important that actually we have 3 years of tax returns right now, just for the simple fact that we're running into issues where if you just have 14, 15, they wanna see 16, and that's holding up loans. Also, if we just have 15, 16, maybe there's something on there that the underwriter questions and they're gonna request 14. We actually had that on a loan that I was working with Angelina. The bar was really upset because they were requesting 2014 W-2s and tax returns and we didn't have it, but we already had 15, 16, and she was like, why is the underwriter requesting a 3rd year? So just in between this tax period until after we get through April, it's really important that we really have all 3 years if possible.
That's good, that's a good point. Is
Yeah.
when you think you may need it, get it, because then they're the bad guys later on when they're asking for it. 2-year employment, same thing as a residence, same thing with the residence, it's, something that you'll need or could need. And then the processors, when they look through the file, and they probably stick it in the trash, but they're gonna appreciate the effort, and they'll have some, it'll give them more secure feeling when they see that little bit of extra due diligence was done, and it'll make your file a lot firmer and give it better integrity when you're going through it, looking at it. Social Security award letter, that's just like pay stubs. That's the only way you can document that pay unless you pull bank statements for 12 months. The award letter. It's also the employment thing. The employment history is also in the borrower info pack. Oh yeah, okay, on USDA, when y'all are talking to people with USDA, and you're asking them, do you have any kids living at home, or however you find out how many people in the household, go ahead and ask them, and do the math in your head, or on a scratch pad or something. Find out how many adults are living in that house, and I'd ask not only once, but probably twice, and maybe even again at the end of the conversation, just to make sure that there's not grandma living with them that's getting $1,500 a month Social Security, because it counts, and it could count if they're not 62 years old, and that could goof the loan all up. A son that's living at home, 22 years old, not a full-time student, if he works at Walmart and makes $1,000 a month, that could kick it over the cap, and it counts. Now, if he's a student, and he's a full-time student, only the first $450 or $480 of what he makes counts towards the cap, so you don't have to worry.
So we need the same documents for everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And they all should be in there. And anybody looking at your file, whether it's myself or anybody else, if it's a USDA, and I'm seeing 3 adults, so hints of 3 adults, we need, or even a husband and wife, and we only got income docs for 1, then it should get kicked back, because you never know. Checking account, savings account, 2 months history, the 401k. If you don't get the terms and conditions, sometimes people don't understand even what that is. And you may have to, spell it out to them a little more clearly. And these are all like secondary docs too, by the way. Everybody knows what primary docs would be your pay stubs, pay stubs, tax returns, 1099 W-2s, bank statements. Those would be your primaries. All this other stuff would be more secondary, not necessarily on your first list. And the 401 quarterly statement, if you can get the terms and conditions, at least the 401k quarterly statement, at least you have an idea what they're gonna have, at least for reserves, even if it's not liquid enough to pull out for a down payment. And then the gift letter, I was debating on that, me and Jason were talking about it, and I asked him his opinion, he agrees that it's, the gift letter, and I've had the same thing happen to me. They tell you gift, and you may even talk to the person that's giving the gift, and then when it comes time to cough up a bank statement, they don't have the money. And then now they were really heavily dependent on that, and now you don't have a loan, and a bunch of pissed off people. Borrower's signature authorization, that, I put that in there because, it's in the borrower info pack, and if you get all this other stuff, you can get that anyway, and it's a pretty good document to have, because it's authorizing more than just form rate. Go in there and read it. The pre-qual letter, it's pretty, that should go without saying. DU and Gus findings, we went over that. The VA certificate eligibility in DD 214, if it's a VA loan, and you get them fully 100% pre-approved, the final step on a VA would be get the LOA, go ahead and order it, even though they don't have the file yet, they're not sorting and labeling your docs at that point. Yeah. No, that's not true. They still could go ahead and you requested the certificate of eligibility for you to solidify that loan. Just get,
Go back to the last thing, Mark, about the labeling docs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That was another training, but you can go over that. Let me get through this contract part first. Executed contract. I see contracts sometimes with no signatures, buyer signature only, missing dates. No seller concession, but seller concessions on the 1003. Be very mindful of that, because that could cause a big problem, and the realtors get pissed off when they have to go and ask for something, even though it's 100% on them.
And a contract with an incomplete address.
The USPS thing. Okay, extensions, real estate transaction contact information sheet. I put that, and I think I put that in almost everybody's X drive. If I haven't, I will. But that's a helpful. Who does the? It's the LOA that does the contact part of the disclosures, right?
What do you mean?
You complete the file contacts?
In Encompass? Yes.
Okay, so if y'all had
Do
all
the loan
the,
officers even know where that is?
do they know what it is?
It's at the bottom.
No, but do they know, like, do they go to that?
No, but I mean, I had put this also in theirs, I put in there, you know, highly recommended, do your best without delaying the loan. If you can fire that out, when you get a contract, fire that off to the realtor, and it's got every contact that you should, the LOA is gonna need, and if they see it on one piece of paper, it's gonna make it a lot easier for them to comb through a contract.
And let me piggyback that, because, a lot of times in the contract, the information not available. So before y'all send us a contract, please either send that document that you're talking about, or get that information initially.
To make
That should
sure-
come attached with the contract.
Texas contracts, it is like in there, it's page 9 typically. So if you have a Texas loan, it's a great page, it has all the contacts in it, but they will fill out their realtor license number and their like broker number for the company, so yeah, that page is so important for an LOA.
There's the form that I made was before August, all the other states, but, it's pretty, I think it's everything that you guys need to complete that part of the disclosures, or that part of Encompass. The USDA address eligibility, that's not because of the address, it's because of the eligibility, and I've done it once, and I'll never do it again. But let's somebody go under contract on USDA, and the house is not eligible. Man, that's like, does it wanna get away? That's bad. That's very, very embarrassing. Could you expect that from the realtors, but not from us? And I felt really stupid. I was able to flip it to FHA, but it wasn't nice. Anyways, it's a bad feeling to have, so if you go ahead and do that and then PDF print it into the folder, and then put it under contract, that's gonna give some added peace of mind to everybody that you're doing that and make your files more credible. Okay, back to the hot topic, the documents. Who in here doesn't know how to combine, extract, label, sort documents in Adobe Acrobat?
How many of us do it?
How many people don't know how?
I don't know.
You don't know how?
I'll show you.
We don't have to learn like college level Adobe, like how to manipulate things, like, you know, building all these very intricate forms. But the very, very basics, combine, extract, sort, just dragging and putting the most recent on top, all that stuff, I mean, I've learned from reviewing files, and if there is nobody reviewing files, it's just going to a different level for that review, because it's getting reviewed somewhere. Now, if it gets all the way to processing for the review, your loan's gonna get held up if you submit single documents that are faxes of 26 pages, and they gotta sort them out. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that your file may get pushed to the side for one that's more organized. And I'm gonna say this is the facts of life. In 6 years, I know because I've seen it happen to me. So, taking two tax returns, and sticking them together and putting 16 on top and 15 on the bottom, and labeling the tax returns, and then dragging those two other ones to the trash, you just reduce the stack this big to this big. And then if you do that all the way down the line, the person reviewing the file is down to here, and they can knock it out in 10 minutes. If it's like this, and you've got it sorted with the date first, then their eyeballs have to do this in order to see everything. If you put tax returns all together, B1, tax returns, B2, tax returns, or just tax returns if it's joint, or it's tax returns if it's solo. Same thing with bank statements, same thing with W-2s. Just do that. The
That's
process
something
will
that
be
the
quick.
LOs are doing now, as opposed to having the LOAs do it.
Right, for the income docs.
Depending on your tax return, it's sometimes important to split them, because if your tax return's like 69 pages,
Oh, yeah.
and you put all 2 years of tax returns that are 69 pages in tax returns, that sucks. So it would be great if you split them up by year.
How would you prefer it?
Or,
By
or
year?
pull out, if
I
it's Vermont.
pull them out,
pull
yes,
out-
I
pull out
split
the
mine by
state-
year.
Alright,
Pull
cool.
out the state return, I mean, if it's Vermont, don't throw it, don't delete it, but stick it up there in the trash.
Don't alternate any, don't delete any pages in there.
No.
The reason why you don't delete pages in the tax return is because the processor will actually go through and see if it is a full tax return, and if there's pages missing, we have to request, additional documents, and we'll be able to see that. But if you guys start cutting, pasting, doing weird stuff, it's just, the specs will get lost and your customers will get pissed, so, yeah, just one tax return per year.
Per year.
Please.
Okay.
If it's large,
Yes, if it's a large tax.
yeah, I mean,
Like
this,
in New York, they got all these other.
oh god, yeah.
State taxes.
Make it, just, use common sense, and if it's an extra 2.5 minute exercise to make it easier on your customer, which is the person next in line that you're handing off to. If I hand this to Jason, he's gotta take this and unfold it before he can read it. If I just hand it to him straight out, yeah, if I hand it to him straight, just all nice and flat, he's gonna grab it and he can immediately start reading it. So, Jay, how would you rather have it?
Smooth hand.
There you go. So, it took me an extra 15 seconds to unfold this paper that I folded up and handed to him. Now, it's the same analogy. It corresponds perfectly.
I would say this, I prefer my LOs that I work with, a lot of y'all already know, don't label nothing, drop it on the auto layer of the folder, and I'll handle the sorting, the filing, the naming,
It's
all
not
that.
possible though,
Why is that?
because if we do that, then I'm gonna see a mess. It's gonna take me triple the time to sort, because I'm supposed to be looking at it before you even.
That's fine, you can look at it, so say it arrived in your email, boom, you preview it, you go through the docs, you see what you need to see, and you drag that same PDF that you're looking at out to the folder, the main outlet layer of the folder. Don't sort it, don't file it, don't do nothing with it, because
Wait,
if-
what do you mean though?
Yeah, no, he's saying, when we get a folder, when we get your file, we open up that folder, everything needs to be on the outside.
Oh,
So
the
we
outside.
go in-
Yeah.
I said
we
don't even
go
put the
in and
folder
put it
even in there.
folder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, cause
Please don't-
just say if somebody if you receive something and you file it and I don't know about it, it's gonna be sitting in that folder and I might
You
send
don't
out
even know to
scribblies.
look for it there and.
I'm not gonna look for it there because it's
Exactly.
not supposed to be there, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Like
like,
I said,
yeah.
you're not
Yeah,
gonna know to
don't
look
put
for
them
it
under
there.
credit, don't put them under income, but do label them.
I didn't hear what you said, but Joe, my bad.
Don't put them under credit, don't put them under income, don't put them under assets.
Yeah.
But do separate the 50-page facts, do label them, bank statements, check stubs, tax returns,
Yeah.
and leave them outside, cause yeah, it's hard for me too, cause sometimes I don't know where y'all put stuff.
Yeah,
I
cause
don't
man,
know.
I don't know. I just wanna know. I wanna know what's coming in, whether I've already put away. I wanna know. So.
But okay, but just to make sure there's no confusion, everybody, to make sure there's no confusion, do y'all understand what Tyron's saying? As opposed to not sorting and labeling it. I want you to sort it, and I want you to label it. But
On
that
the
doesn't-
outside.
Don't file
On the
it.
outside, don't file it.
I don't even fucking file.
Sort and label the document.
Oscar,
And if you sort,
Catching all that?
name it wrong, I'm gonna rename it anyway. So I'll just let you know.
well, yeah, but we're talking about the person that's reviewing it.
Cut the camera.
Me or whoever it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want, 'cause